This episode is brought to you by United Airlines. When you want to make the most of your vacation, book with United. They're an airline that cares about your travels as much as you do. United is transforming the flying experience with Bluetooth connectivity, screens, power at every seat, and bigger overhead bins to help fit everyone's bag. And with their app, you can skip the bag check line, get live updates, and more. Change the way you fly. Book your next trip today at united.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See detail.
1, 2, 3, 4. Monster movie.
Fun time, go! Monster movie.
Fun time, go. Monster
Movie.
Fun time,
Go!
Monster movie. Fun time, go.
With Precious D and Honeybee.
Fun time, go!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, welcome to Monster Movie Fun Time Go. I am one of your hosts, Precious D.
And I am the other one of your hosts, Honeybee.
Honeybee and I are two best friends making our way through the history of kaiju movies. We started in 1933 with the original King Kong, and today we are in 2010 with a Norwegian movie, Trollhunter.
Ooh.
Or in Norwegian, Trolljegeren. In the UK, it's Trollhunter as 2 words. Here it's Trollhunter 1 word. And in Canada, it's The Trollhunter. So there you go.
Nice.
It is a found footage style movie. It's 104 minutes from Norway. It is in Norwegian with a little bit of English thrown in there. I didn't see any dubbed version. It was subtitles where I watched it. The budget was 19 million Norwegian kroners, or I'm assuming NOK means Norwegian kroner. $3.5 million. And the box office was 24 million kroners, or $4.2 million. So just barely made its budget back.
Shout out to our friend Kat, who immigrated to Norway last year. Love you, bitch.
Hi, Kat.
Who's living her best Viking life.
Hopefully the trolls aren't bothering her too much. It is written and directed by Andre Overendal, and it stars Otto Jespersen as Hans the Trollhunter, Hans Morten Hansen as Finn, Thomas Alf Larsen as Kalle, Johanna Mork as Johanna, Kunt Nerum as a power company manager, Robert Stoltenberg as a Polish bear hunter, Glenn Erland Tosturund as Tomas, Urmila Berg Domas as Malika, and Torun Lodemel Stokeland as Hilda, a veterinarian. Oh, Wikipedia under cultural references shows a couple of paintings that are referred to in the movie, I guess. There's a part where one of the guys says, "Do I look like the painting?"
Oh, yeah.
The painting is Soria Moria Castle by Theodore Kittelsen. And he does kind of look like the painting in that scene.
Cute. Norway is such a beautiful country. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Also, the cover of this movie, it shows like the bottom half of a troll and like, I don't know, some people under like, ah, and the troll has a grape bush. And later on, I know exactly which troll was on the cover.
Okay. So, Honeybee, what are your initial thoughts on Trollhunter?
I will say that I found it entertaining. A lot of the time, a lot of my notes are like, why is this so funny? Like, I'm laughing so hard, but I cannot explain why. I kind of felt like it was a little bit slow, but there was some payoff. We did get some payoff. I really like Hans. Don't really love Thomas and Johanna, and I can't remember the third guy's name, the camera guy. But I did love Hans, and I mean, I was entertained. I will say my initial thoughts are, it's entertaining, I suppose. A little slow. Kind of, I think, you know how like Cloverfield or the ripoff Monster or whatever, they do the thing at the end of the movie where they're like, these videos were found, and then, we are putting them. I kind of liked that this movie did that at the beginning instead of at the end, and because it really makes it feel like, ooh, this is like real, But yeah, I thought it was kind of slow but good. We got good payoff. It wasn't like it was slow for no reason. But yeah, it's I.
It's very much like Blair Witch, more so than Cloverfield.
Yeah, for sure.
Wikipedia here says it features a mixed cast of relatively unknown actors and well-known Norwegian comedians.
Nice.
Otto Jaspersen. So Hans apparently is a well-known comedian there. So even though he's not being funny, there maybe he just has a deadpan delivery that made things funny.
Yeah, maybe that's why I thought it was so funny.
Right. But it's very much like Blair Witch in that it's a group of students making a film. Unlike Cloverfield, where they just sort of happen to have a camera and start filming stuff, it's students purposely making a film and uncovering an unknown thing while they're doing it. And so there is a lot of slow build-up as they just slowly discover what's actually going on, and then leading to a ambiguous climax.
Yeah.
Let's get into the... Well, had you seen this before?
No.
Yeah, I saw it when it was relatively new. So here's the plot from Wikipedia. Thank you, Wikipedia. A group of students from Volda University College, Tomas, Johanna, and their cameraman, Kali, set out to make a documentary about a suspected bear poacher, Hans. This part was a little unclear to me. I'm like, why are they making this? They seem to... It's not clear what they started out making a documentary about.
Well, I think it's because it's such a, like, they have this moment where one of the guys that they're interviewing says, everybody knows everybody here. I know every single bear hunter who has a license around here, and I don't know this guy. And so I think it kind of started out as, like, these people really caring about a situation because they are the ones who keep the bear population under control. And for an outsider to come in and not have a license and to be killing these animals without permission is a problem. So I think it started out as like, a good thing, like, oh, we're going to catch this guy. He's fucking up. He's like fucking with our environment, and we're going to like stop it, and we're going to prove it. I think that's kind of how it started out.
I just don't know. Well, the thing is, so they do tell us at the beginning, okay, these 2 hard disks just kind of showed up at our film production offices. And so this is a rough cut. Everything in here is chronological. Presumably they cut out a bunch of even more stuff where nothing was happening. I mean, if it were real. There might have been some. I think they did some editing. The idea is that they did some editing.
Right.
But... presumably these students, had they finished their documentary, would have explained at some point with voiceover or whatever what it is they were doing. So maybe they started out making a documentary about bear hunters. And
poachers.
Then as they're interviewing them, they find out about this potential poacher, so they decide to follow him. But it's a little unclear about why. Because in Blair Witch, they do say, there's this legend of the Blair Witch, we're going to investigate it. So it's very clear what they're trying to do at the beginning. In this one, it's not really clear what their original intention is. But that's what they end up doing. We're going to try and find out what this poacher's up to. At the site of an illegally slain bear, they interview local hunters who comment that the bear tracks look odd, as well as Finn Haugen, head of the Norwegian Wildlife Board. Finn dismisses the idea that the bear tracks could have been faked. Well, we'll find out later that's because Finn's the one that's faking the bear tracks. The students, and he fucks up at some point and gets his paws switched. And the kids, at that point, the kids know it, and they're teasing him about it.
Well, and even at one point, he brings the wrong kind of bear. They're like, this bear doesn't even live in this part of the world.
Right. So he's got to make up some bullshit. These students follow Hans in an attempt to secure an interview, but he continually rebuffs them. After following him into a forest at nighttime, they see mysterious flashing lights and hear roars. Hans comes running back, screaming, "Troll!" Tomas is attacked and reveals that he was bitten by something. They escape in Hans's Land Rover, start saying Land Rover, and discover their own vehicle turned over with the tires ripped off. Why they spell tires?
I have to say that when they first are like following him, and they pull over and it's dark and they can't see anything and they're walking through. My favorite line in the entire movie is when Tomas says, "If we run into a bunch of inbred pig farmers, your ass is first." I was like, damn! It goes to show what kind of friends they are. Like, they're definitely not like a love interest in this movie, which thank God.
Yeah.
But it made me laugh. Yeah. Like I cackled.
Yes, it's two guys and a girl, but at no point does that make any difference to anything.
Thank God.
So I did like that.
Me too.
But that's also the situation in Blair Witch, except the girl's the sound person in this one. She's not the camera person, and she's not the documentarian. She's the sound person.
Yeah, and also they kind of like have to go through quite a lot to actually get to the point where they're following Hans, which is just like kind of like the slow buildup that I'm talking about. It took like maybe 25 minutes to even get to this point where he's like, "Troll," because we have to see them like follow him here, follow him there. They go on a ferry, they bug his camper, they look in his camper with night vision goggles. Like, it's all just very slow. But like I said, it does pay off, so that's good.
At one point, Thomas says something about Michael Moore. I can't remember exactly. Somebody's complaining about something, and he's like, "Hey, do you think Michael Moore just did it overnight or whatever, or he had to work hard or something?" So I thought that was interesting that their hero was an American documentarian. But he probably is, as far as documentary makers, Michael Moore's probably the most famous one, definitely here in America, but I guess in the world, he's the most, in Norway anyway, he's the most. Well, no, because normally the documentarian is not so much in front of the camera as much as Michael Moore. Right. As much as Michael Moore is, they're a little bit more behind the camera. Other than sort of nature hosts like David Attenborough or people like that. Let's see. They escaping his Land Rover. Hans admits that it is not bears he is hunting, but trolls. Though skeptical, the students ask if they can join Hans and film his hunt, to which he consents on the condition that they do exactly as he instructs.
Which, I'm not going to lie, this kind of annoyed me. It kind of like really annoyed me that like this whole beginning of the movie, he's like, "No, get the hell away from me. Fuck off." And then he's like, "All right, fine, you can film me, but you have to do exactly what I say." And I'm like, wait, what the hell made him change his mind so abruptly? He went from like, "Fuck you" to like, "Come along, children."
I think just the fact that they had encountered a troll themselves, he's like, well, now that they know. Yeah. I tried to keep them from finding out, but now that they know, fuck it. Because they're just going to keep, they're not going to get less interested now that they know there's trolls. The next day, Hans makes them disguise themselves with troll stench, a slimy concentrate made from everything you can squeeze out of a troll. and asks if any of them believe in God or Jesus, because a troll can smell a Christian man's blood. That's some Jack and the Beanstalk stuff there. So I think in some mythologies there's a tendency these days to make a distinction between a troll and an ogre and a giant. And, you know, in our culture, well, giants say fee, fi, fo, fum.
Mm-hmm.
I smell the blood of an Englishman. But there's some versions where it's I smell the blood of a Christian man. So,
oh shit! I didn't know that.
I believe so. I think that's where this idea is coming from. But it's, you know, different cultures, different languages. It gets mixed up. It gets changed. But I think maybe the original version is Christian man, and at some point it got changed to English man. So anyway, I'm thinking, you know, in some of these legends, what's described as a troll in one language is described as a giant in another language. One of the kids says at one point, in the fairy tales, trolls wear clothes and speak. And, you know, these ones, he says, no, they're just animals. They're not that, predators. Even though they have a basically human shape, they don't have a human level of intelligence.
Yeah. Also, he calls them he calls them different things. Like, there's different kinds of trolls, like a Ringle Finch or like a whatever. And I was like, oh, that's very like BFG of this movie, you know, yeah. Because like, you know, in the BFG, like all the giants have like these different names that sound very much like Ringle Finch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He, and now I'm sure all this stuff is from folklore, these names that he's thrown around. Hans wields a flash gun, a weapon that emits powerful UV rays to simulate sunlight and turn the trolls to stone. Though he comments that sometimes the trolls just explode, depending on how old they are. The students are stunned when Hans flushes out a giant three-headed troll called a Tusselad. Hans manages to turn the troll to stone and explains to the students that he only allowed them to come along because he's tired of working for little compensation and wants them to divulge the truth. Finn, who actually works for the Troll Security Service, arrives with a team to deposit a bear carcass and plant fake tracks, and tells the students that they will not be allowed to keep their tapes. I don't know why he doesn't just confiscate it all right then. Maybe he thinks...
Yes, I thought the same thing. Also, when this... Go ahead.
Maybe it's because he's just by himself and doesn't have a gun and doesn't think he'll be able to enforce it.
To take all three of them.
Yeah.
Well, so after they flash Medusa the troll into stone, he's like, which one of you are lying? I know one of you is a Christian. I know one of you can believe in God. I can tell by the way that like the troll is smelling, and it's obviously not this whore. Like, he doesn't say that, but he's like, it's obviously not this girl. And I was like, LOL, because I don't know why. It just made me laugh. Like, I don't know why he's like, obviously it's not you, woman. And
that might be, well, it might be because he specifically says a Christian man.
Yeah, maybe so.
So
but
maybe
also
even
what
if
really annoyed me...
Even if she were a Christian, it wouldn't matter because she's a woman. I don't know.
Yeah, you're probably right. But it really annoyed me that when the troll, like when all of this happened, she's like, I told you so, I knew it. And I'm like, bitch, no you didn't. The whole time you're like making fun of him and like laughing and like saying all this shit like he's probably playing a prank on us or something. You didn't know shit. I was like, shut up. She's like, I knew it. And then he's like, it's obviously not this girl. And I'm like, yeah, fuck this girl.
Now, it seems to me, though, that that's the kind of thing that might make you suddenly believe in God.
Yeah, no shit.
That, wait, trolls are real and they can smell whether or not you can believe in God? Well, what does that mean? Does that mean God is also real? Maybe I do believe in God. You know, why can the troll smell that? What does that mean? So it seems like, well, I didn't believe 5 minutes ago.
But also, I don't really want to believe in God until all the trolls are dead.
So they arrive with a team to deposit a bear carcass and plant fake tracks, and he tells the students they will not be allowed to keep their tapes. In a series of interviews,
I was laughing
Hans reveals
so
that
hard
Finn's
at that
work
part.
Is to keep troll. His bare feet and his
Yes, his bare feet, and it was the wrong kind of bear, and he's like, no problem, it's fine. I was just laughing so hard. And the guy's like, I mean, don't you know, why are you doing this? And he's like, I don't know. In Poland, we ask not what we do. Problem you don't want to make. Goodbye. It's so funny.
Yeah. So Polish guys have delivered a Russian bear to the Norwegian Troll Security Service.
From the zoo. They got it from the zoo.
Oh, did they? I missed that part.
Yes.
I missed that. They stole it from the zoo? They just stole it?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I was cracking
It seems like the Troll Security Service should have a better pipeline. They shouldn't be having to deal with these shady... There should be some official government bears that they can just requisition. Clearly, the TSS is underfunded and understaffed if this is how they have to get shit done.
I also love how when Hans is talking about the TSS and he's like talking about the trolls and how they're like stupid and they can like live to be 1,200 years old, that he's like, the heads develop as they age. Like they're born with one head, but then they develop other heads as they age to scare other trolls and to impress female trolls, which I thought was so funny. Like imagine like you're like a big female troll and you're like, oh, look at that one. He's got 4 heads. Yep, that's the one. Like, it's just so funny to me. This movie is just like so funny, and like I don't think it's meaning to be necessarily, but it's entertaining for sure.
I mean, I think the fact that they hired some comedians, maybe they do hope that it'll be kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I did also think that was a interesting, different creatures. They develop big useless plumage that's just meant to attract a mate. Mm-hmm. Or various things, their manes, their ruffles, their frills that are all about attracting a mate. So I thought and intimidating other rivals. So I thought that was actually kind of realistic and an interesting idea.
Yeah, it's
because there are multi-headed trolls in folklore. And so the idea that, well, they're not actual functioning heads. They're just protuberances that look like heads. I liked that. I liked that idea.
Me too. Yeah.
Let's see. Hans reveals that Finn's work is to keep trolls a secret, while his is to kill any that come near populated areas. He also explains that the trolls have been acting aggressively lately and have begun to leave their territories more often than usual, and that he must get a troll blood sample to determine why. I love this part. The students accompany Hans to another hunt using live goats on a bridge as bait. I love this Billy Goat's Gruff bridge troll thing. That I just thought that was great. Just that part, using that story and that folklore that trolls live under bridges and want to eat goats.
2 things here. Before we get to the troll bridge, we have this moment where Hans brings everybody in his tiny little camper and has like tails everywhere so that he smells like trolls so he can sneak up on them, and all the lights are like tanning lights, but he uses sunscreen so it's fine. Okay. Yeah. Also, he smokes a fucking cigarette in this tiny little camper filled with troll stench and 4 bodies. I'm like, bro, it stinks enough in here. Why would you light a cigarette? And it's funny, you can tell that the door is closed to the camper because as this scene is being filmed, the camper is just filling with this smoke. Yeah. I was like, oh, what a fucking nightmare. Oh my God.
Because he can't smell anything anymore at this point.
Yeah. Oh, no way.
How much and it probably stinks so bad that the cigarette smoke's going to be nothing.
Oh God. I was like,
also, people who smoke a lot often kind of lose their sense of smell a bit. So maybe it's actually helping him to smoke too much and lose his sense of smell.
I guess so. But then also the bridge, the troll bridge is the troll from the movie cover. You can tell from his bush. Okay. And also he's like, here, did you know, they have to like rub their like armpits and groin in this like troll grease so that they don't stink. And when they get to the bridge, he's like, hey, did you rub your crotch in troll grease? Like, I'm just like, this is so fucking funny, dude. Oh my gosh. And I love when the troll bridge, like, go ahead.
He's also put on some armor to go try to get a blood sample from the
I was just about to say that. When the troll picks him up and like clink, clink, like bites him, but he's just metal and it just gets pissed off and throws him. Like, I was just laughing so hard. Dead. Yeah, same.
Hans successfully obtains a blood sample from the bridge troll, Ragelfant, and takes it to a veterinarian who works for the TSS. The troll climbs up on the bridge after chomping on one of the goats at least, and smacks Hans around and then goes away, and they go help pick him up. But then he's not dead. I thought for sure he was dead. But then he goes under the bridge after the troll, and we see him use a little bit of his flash gun thing, and the thing explodes from under the bridge. He's like, at least I got the blood sample. I'm like, did he actually get the syringe into the troll first, or did he just take some of the pieces, the exploded pieces, and extract some blood from them?
Gross.
It's a little unclear.
And when we get to the vet, I kind of was like, are they like love interests? Because I know that they've got to be really good friends because she hugs his stanky ass.
Yes. But, Tomas is looking at the camera like, oh, hey, Hans is getting a little action there. Yeah, Tomas seems to think that Hans either does have a thing with her or would like to have a thing with her. So, I think there's definitely the possibility of them having a thing, but I don't think it's actually happened yet. That's the feeling I got. I got the feeling that they're attracted to each other but haven't actually done anything about it. But they don't give us any detail. Anyway, he takes this sample to the vet who works for the TSS but finds that it will take several days before any results can be found. Investigating a farm where a number of trees have been uprooted, Hans and the film crew find troll tracks.
The vet gives us some like science-y explanation of like trolls and like how they die and how their like gestational period is like 10 to 15 years, and like she gives us all of this, like they interview her basically. Yeah.
They can't process vitamin D from the sunlight, so it calcifies them. And if they're young, it causes something in their stomach to expand too quickly and they blow up. But if they're old, it just causes them to their veins constrict and they calcify and freeze up and basically turn to stone. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, when he turns that first troll into stone, he then breaks it up into smaller pieces and into gravel so that no one will know it's a troll body. Anyway, he's investigating a farm where a number of trees have been uprooted. Hans and the film crew find troll tracks leading into an abandoned mine, the lair of a pack of cave trolls, which are called Dovragubens. The trolls return unexpectedly and the group is trapped inside. The situation becomes more tense when Callie confesses that he is in fact a Christian. Haha. The trolls pick up Callie's scent and discover the group. In a panic, the group runs for the safety of daylight at the cave entrance, but Callie is caught and killed before he can escape.
This is the sound of your ride home with Dad after he caught you vaping. Awkward, isn't it? Most vapes contain seriously addictive levels of nicotine and disappointment. Know the real cost of vapes. Brought to you by the FDA.
My dad works in B2B marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/campaign to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
Pray to your God.
The replacement camera woman is Malika, a Muslim. They just put out a call for non-Christian camera people.
And preferably a woman.
We don't mean just not believing. We need you to we don't need you to not just not be a Christian. We need you to be actively something else.
I don't know why I have this note, but one of my notes in this part is I forgot to grease my crotch. And I'm not sure why I wrote that note. Someone forgot to grease their crotch and the trolls can smell them.
Oh no. Hans is uncertain about how trolls will react to that. Okay. Maybe the fact that she is a believer of some kind. A religion that is related. Finn demands that Hans head north to troll territory to get the problem under control. The group finds signs of a Jotun, a giant mountain troll, 61 meters tall. Tomas falls ill, and they learn that the troll blood sample came back positive for rabies, meaning that Tomas has been infected by the bite he received several days earlier. Yeah, he's all like, what? I don't have rabies? Dogs get rabies. Like, yeah, and if they bite you, you will get rabies. That's why we're so concerned about them not having rabies, not for their own
Also, sidebar, like a few weeks ago, we actually had the first case of someone surviving rabies ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the very first case.
Without getting shots or anything? Or
Oh, no, they were very sick in the hospital for like weeks and weeks and weeks. They were like trying to keep them alive. But they did survive it, and it's the first case ever. Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. I mean, I knew if you got bit and were suspected that you had to get some heavy duty shots, and it used to be a lot of them, but now I think it's fewer. But I guess once it's full blown, you tend to die. This person.
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
So, cool. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Let's see. After several attempts, Hans manages to kill the Jotun by launching a rocket-like projectile that transforms the troll into stone. So they're running around in his Land Rover, and the light on top is not working properly. Yeah, folks, we give out many hints and tips on this show. If you're going out troll hunting, check your battery and have a spare battery. Spare batteries when troll hunting. Yeah, the light keeps flickering and not working properly. He wasn't even sure because the troll's so big that it was going to work. It kind of repels him, but it doesn't turn him to stone instantly because it's flickering and it's just not hitting him enough. And then he talks about having to wear him out first. And then the troll seems like it's, I don't know, it might be partly the fact that it's got rabies, but also partly that it's been hit with light a couple times. It's kind of staggering around and not chasing them anymore. And he's like, all right, I got to go give it the killing blow. And that's when he gets his rocket-like projectile thing that transforms its troll into stone. It seems to let off some UV light when it hits. He doesn't explain what this thing is and what it's going to do. Before doing so, he directs the others to find the highway. Finn and his TSS agents arrive to confiscate the student's tape. So they, for some reason, they're just walking back to the highway. Hans seems to have survived, but he's like not. He doesn't say, "I'll give you a ride back" or anything. He's just like, "That's this." He's like,
"Well, that was it. Fuck you guys."
And they're in a really where they are is covered with snow. So, because up till now they've been in the. I mean, they're in Norway, but they haven't been in snow-covered mountains. They've been in the woods and in the city.
Yeah.
So anyway, Finn and his TSS agents arrive to confiscate the student's tapes. Tomas flees with the camera and collapses at the side of the road when the tape cuts off. We also see Johanna running around and falling down. Just before the cut to black, a truck is seen coming down the road towards the camera. It kind of seems like Tomas might have been hit by the truck. But yeah, it cuts off before we see that. But it's kind of implied that maybe he gets hit by a truck, which would be funny that he survived all his troll encounters and getting rabies, and it gets hit by a truck. An epilogue tells the audience that none of the students were heard from again. The film ends with a news clip and no body was found in the cave. And if you have any information, please contact us. The government won't admit that the TSS exists, but they might have let something slip at a recent news conference. And the film ends with a news clip of the Norwegian Prime Minister, Jens Stoltenberg. Oh, there's a Wikipedia link, so maybe he's actually the Prime Minister. Appears to admit to the existence of trolls though the press fails to take notice. He's talking about, Norwegian politician who served as the 13th Secretary General of NATO from 2014 to 2024. Member of the Norwegian Labour Party. I was previously the 34th Prime Minister of Norway. I'm curious if this is an actual clip or if they just convinced him to be in this movie. Anyway, he's talking about electricity and power grids and power lines, and says something in passing, just like, in Norway we have trolls, so we need more power lines. Sort of implying that the trolls knock down the power lines, so we're always having to fix them, or we need to set up more of them. And the guy next to him kind of turns and looks at him like, oh shit, did he just say that?
Like, shut the fuck up.
Notice. I'm looking at his page here, and under in popular culture, it doesn't list his appearance in this movie. Oh well. Anyway, but that's fun that it's actually the Prime Minister in this movie. So, Honeybee, what are you going to rate Trollhunter?
I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars. It was okay. I was entertained, but I didn't love it. I just thought it was okay. I really did like Hans, but I probably won't ever watch it again.
I'm gonna give it 4. I liked it.
Nice.
I do. I like. I don't know that I love found footage movies. I don't love the Blair Witch Project. But I do like seeing, because there's another more recent troll movie also from Norway that's a kaiju movie. It's a little more of a traditional kaiju movie, but I do like seeing this Norwegian culture, the trolls, the idea that trolls are real in film, and just I like seeing them use their folklore in their movies and just getting a glimpse of that. I find that interesting because we see that in our own English speaking culture, both American and England. We get a lot of that, and of course in these kind of movies we get a lot of Japanese input. So I just enjoy seeing some input from other cultures that we don't normally get.
Hell yeah.
And just seeing bits of their folklore and how it's also part of our own folklore, but their own particular view of it. It does seem like trolls are more prominent in Norwegian folklore than in other areas. That seems to be their thing. So I like it. I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it. So there you go, folks. What is up for next week? Let me check my list here. Oh, God damn it.
Oh, no.
Next week is Megapython versus Gatoroid. Gatoroid,
Uh-oh.
not Gatorade. I'm pretty sure that's a goddamn Asylum movie.
Sounds like it.
So that's probably streaming everywhere. I will quickly check. Yes, it's on Philo and Tubi. And it is from the Asylum. And premiered on the Sci-Fi Channel. Just as you would... Oh, it did have a theatrical... Premiered theatrically in Texas. God damn it. But it's a Sci-Fi Channel movie. All right, so there you go, folks. That's it for this week. Please, if you enjoy the show, like and subscribe and rate and review wherever it is that you're listening to us. And consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/MMFTG. Until next time, I have been Precious D.
And I have been Honey B.
Remember to keep calm and take shelter in basements.
And please don't misuse science.
Don't forget those spare batteries. We won't see you, but you will hear us next time on Monster Movie Funtime Go. You've been listening to Monster Movie Funtime Go. If you enjoyed the show, please consider rating and reviewing us on your podcasting platform of choice. You can leave us a message and find links to all our things at mmftg.com.